Hey everyone, Ryan Young, Kama Jiu-Jitsu. Hope you're doing well. You know, the other day I had gone into a Rotary Club meeting here in Flower Mound, Texas. My next door neighbor at my studio, he owns a pharmacy and he's a member of the Rotary Club and invited me to go in and do a talk on self-defense. Said he didn't want it to be a sales thing for Kama Jiu-Jitsu, and I perfectly understand. You know, that's as much as I am an ambassador for Kama Jiu-Jitsu and I'm always, talking about Kama Jiu-Jitsu and jiu-jitsu in general, like with you guys, just jiu-jitsu in general. But I do, say that we are Kama Jiu-Jitsu, School of David Kama, and we do have 3 locations, one in Flower Mound, Texas, one in Flower Mound, Texas. We have one in Irvine, California, and one in Austin, Texas, right? Come see us at any of our locations or come visit us at kamajujitsu.com. You can also check us out online at kamajujitsuonline.com. Where we have our curriculum, and it's a monthly subscription type thing. You can get all our videos and all that kind of good stuff, right? So this Rotary meeting, so any of you who've been or part of Rotary clubs or been to a Rotary Club meeting, it's simply a community service oriented group. These are people who in my mind, they've done very well in life, and they want to kind of share their good fortune with people less fortunate. Non-religious type of group, but in that particular group, they did, they were, to me, a very patriotic, very Christian organization, which I'm very comfortable with, being a Texan myself. So I went and I did a speech, and I just wanted to do a generic self-defense speech. So without having any room to bring in mats or bring somebody in to throw around, I thought I'd just kind of go over what I call the 5 important points to avoid a situation. So the first one is keep your head in a swivel. This is something I taught my kids from when they were young and they could walk, right? I'm still holding their hand at the time, but they're the Game Boy or the phone or whatever, when they got a little older, leave it in the car. You don't need it. Let's go to the store. We got to walk in a big old parking lot. First thing I do is I always tell them, we're walking, all right, look left, look right. Yeah, and I taught them by looking at the cars, how to look for brake lights and backup or reverse lights, because that would mean that a car could possibly come back and hit you. I taught them to stop and wait and get waved on by the driver of the car. Okay, go. If they don't wave you on, just stand there and wait, because sure enough, car would come right in front of them. And they'd see you when they back up, they're like, oh, like shit, sorry, right? So, just by looking out for yourself can help you. It can help save you from a situation. I can't remember, but there have been several times in which me or one of my family members, we could have been hit by a car just simply backing out when they just go, right? They don't see you. A lot of cars don't have cameras like they do now, but that's one thing. By keeping your head in a swivel, getting through that practice, putting your phone away, because a lot of people, and I see it especially with women who are the ones that would be more likely the victims than a man. They're like this on their phone while they're walking. It's like they can't put the thing down. Well, you're gonna have to put it down. Put it in your purse and, just walk. Purse if you have one. If not, just, leave it somewhere. You don't need it in the store, right? So just walk and make sure, just look out for cars, but also look for anything that's out of the ordinary, right? You see a guy just kind of standing there, just kind of double take, but keep walking. Step number 2. So step number 1 is head in a swivel. Step number 2 is to make eye contact. So let's say you do see someone who's a little sus, right? Suspicious. And you don't know what they're up to, but they're just a person in the parking lot even sometimes. They may not even be suspicious, but they're in the parking lot, they're walking. And if they're coming toward you, always try to look them in the eye, right? Just look them in the eye, right? And if most people will shy away from eye contact, right? They say, oh, look, and they'll look, and maybe they're going in another direction, but you can kind of look and you can kind of see which way they're going, and you can then determine that there's no problem here. But let's say, that's number 2, right? Make eye contact. Let's say somebody they look at you and they look at you back, right? Now, it could be a quick, like that. But the third step is to just greet them, say hi, right? How you doing, right? By number 1, keeping your head in a swivel. Number 2, making eye contact. Number 3, saying hi to them, greet them. If somebody's looking to create any trouble, it's basically there's time now. There's no surprise element in there anymore, which a lot of criminals will rely on the surprise element. Because you could theoretically, if that person, you look at them hiding and they start coming to you, you have time to run, right? especially if you don't know how to fight. But generally, the best practice is to get away from there, not to engage in a fight, right? But by greeting them, you can kind of tell whether or not they have any kind of ill intentions. But also, it's just a friendly thing to do, right? I greet everybody I see. I'm walking, I see somebody, as soon as they look, I see their eye look at me, I'll go, how you doing, right? And they're doing well, good, you know, talk to you soon, right? Walk away, right? So step 1, head in the swivel. Step 2, eye contact. Step 3, greet them. Step 4 is if they start coming toward you, you know, you need to maintain that distance, that comfortable distance that you have with them. So make sure you maintain that distance, that safe distance, a distance that you feel safe between you and that person, right? Maintain a comfortable distance is number 4. If they start to close in on you, you need to, the warning lights need to be all flashing red and the horns need to be going, there's something going on. And if they, not that you want to get them into your personal space, use what I call the 51% rule. 51% rule is, we use that in guard pass, right? So guard pass 1. So let's say you're playing guard and you want to protect your guard, right? Your attempts to submit your opponent, you know, choke, armbar, sweep, have all failed. And now your opponent, he's about to pass. In fact, he's got, let's say guard pass 1, right? He's got his arm under your leg, he's got his shoulder under your leg, and he's locked onto your collar, or if no gi, he's locked onto your shoulder, and he's got your leg pinned, right? Ask yourself, is he 51% past my guard and trending, you know, higher than 51, right? If that's the case, let him have it and defend from cross-side 1, right? Or knee on belly, or whatever happens, right? But don't fight it, because what will happen is you'll fight to 90%, and sometimes, you know, there is a way you can actually choke your opponent out from guard pass 1, or sometimes the pain from getting smashed, you know, the pressure pass, you know, that is so excruciating that my question to them would be, why'd you let it go that far? Just get out, right? Same thing when you're trying to maintain your distance between you and a possible assailant, right? You know, as you start to walk and try to walk in another direction and they follow you and they start closing on you, at some point when you realize that they are going to close on you, you need to stop and you need to tell them, back the F up, you know, as loud as you can. Just say, I don't know you, back the F up. Now, if they really had no intention, maybe it was simply, you're dragging something, right? And the person just didn't want to yell. They run up to you and they go, and you tell them, back the F up. You're like, oh, sorry. I just want to let you know that you're dragging toilet paper from your dress. Now you're embarrassed, right? And okay, take it. And then you go, but you know, I don't have any, I'm sorry, you know. But by you doing that, it's better to be safe than sorry, right? He may run up to you to tell you that, but you don't know, right? He may have observed you coming out of your car with toilet paper dragging out from your dress and not said anything, but instead wanted to kind of, you know, hey, just let you know, toilet paper, right? You know, but he had to get closer to do that. But you don't know him from Adam, so you're going, no, back the F up. And he tells you like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, take care of it. I'm really sorry, right? And the guy's like, no, it's okay. I understand. You know, you might have thought that. So yeah, no, I didn't have any kind of intent like that. On the other hand, if it is somebody who has ill intent, then you now have, you know, you've been watching him the whole time, and you tell him to back the F up. And if he decides to come after it, then that's where your self-defense training comes in, right? You know, as they say, 99% of all confrontations are avoidable. In the 1% that are not, you need to be prepared. And that's where something like Kama Jiu-Jitsu comes into play. Anyway, that was a little speech that I had given to a Rotary Club, but I know it'll be valuable for you. And if not for you, pass it on to someone you love who you think either was a victim or could potentially be a victim. Generally, smaller people of smaller stature, especially women and girls, are the ones that could be victims of a crime, especially in an open space or like a parking lot or anything. So, you know, share this video. I'm sure it'll help them just by simply letting them know. You know, I got a lot of good feedback from the Rotary Club So this is something that is valuable information, and it's something that I've done for all the women's self-defense seminars I've ever done. You know, I started off with that before I go into any particular concepts like base and grip breaking and various things like that. You know, it's a pretty comprehensive seminar, but you know that this is just the most important part of it, which are avoiding a confrontation where you can. Anyway, that's all I got for you. Take care, like and subscribe. I appreciate you. I gotta slow it down, right? Anyway, that's all I got for you. Take care and happy training. Bye now.